How much would you pay for a new album in 2024? £10 for a digital download? $50 for a vinyl record? Maybe you haven't bought anything in a while because your monthly subscription to Spotify or Apple Music or Tidal gets you unlimited access to all the new releases. Or maybe you'd have to be paid to listen to a full album. When it comes to a record, we rarely think about the difference between price and value. Since the invention of torrenting and the streaming sites that have mostly replaced it, there's been a wholesale devaluing of music. So I read with interest news that singer-songwriter Thad Cockrell has independently released his new solo album, The Kid, at the price of $99, for which you receive a CD, vinyl record, and digital download. The album will not be released on streaming services, and in a post on Instagram, Thad shared the following. Making a living in music is tougher than ever. Album sales don't cut it, streaming pays pennies. The result? Oftentimes, true creativity gets sidelined for what the algorithm wants. No thank you. Lots of no thank yous. I'm not willing to resort to shaping my music for the algorithm, because it's not what I want to create or what you want to hear. That's why I've thrown in everything, borrowed cash and mortgaged my house to make this new album. In other words, I'm all in. So let me interject. I do not condone remortgaging your house to make a record. I applaud the bravery, and Thad has an audience and has been doing this for a long time. But I know that loans and their repayments can be a real source of pressure on your creativity. And I personally can't sleep well with a financial burden, and I don't want musicians out there possibly losing their houses. It is also the reason that it took me 7 years of YouTube content creation before having a fan base that I knew would buy the physical copy of my album and help me break even on my investment, let alone the 12 years of grafting and busking before that. But he goes on to say, I've hired the absolute best musicians and we've poured blood, sweat and tears, mostly good ones, into 18 tracks. It's the sound of me hearing my favourite songs again for the first time. That's how much I believe in this album and the power of music. This is very exciting to hear, and having made my own record, album costs are mostly musician costs, and you want the very best team around you, and I believe in paying artists what they deserve. If you want high caliber musicians, you need to account for this. He keeps writing, it's a revolution against the music industry's norms. It's about giving fans the opportunity to truly value music as art and the artist behind it. So I'm going to do something that scares the hell out of me. But as I ask my friends, what would you do if you couldn't fail? He then goes on to announce that his record is $99, which may seem like a lot, but when you quantify the hours of learning your craft, writing, recording, hiring session musicians, and everything else that goes into making a record, let alone the physical manufacturing and distribution, I don't understand how records were ever $10, but that's why you originally needed millions of fans to make it work. And I salute Thad in taking a stand and trying a different approach, and I expect it will pay off for him, because he's already built up a fan base. It wouldn't work for those just starting out. And of course, I'll link his album below. Thad's campaign is a textbook definition of my favourite rule by Kevin Kelly of 1,000 true fans. If you can get just 1,000 people to pay $100 a year or project in supporting your work, you can then more break even and have a great living from your art. And why give your work away on a platform that devalues it and pays you a pittance in compensation? And I expect more artists will be taking these chances over the next few years. I had far more success selling my album directly to a few thousand committed fans than hoping to break even on streaming income alone. And to be honest, looking at what Thad is offering in the bulk order comes to the similar price of my vinyl, CD and digital download all bundled together. And we just had a different plan, as I've given the option of buying them separately, which even that felt risky. And talking of risks, I am going on an 8-show UK tour this autumn. Please do join me, details in the description below. And touring as an independent artist is certainly nerve-wracking, but as Thad says in his song Swinging, if I'm going to go down, I want to go down swinging. Thank you so much for watching, and this is a topic I originally explored over on my 21st Century Musician newsletter. If you want a weekly dose of what is happening in the new music business, then sign up using the link in the description. Now it's time for something that I've been wanting to bring back for ages, and as it is a Thursday, let's do a throwback to guitar stories. But before we do, how is this mic sounding? It's my first time using a Rode Wireless Go. Does it look horrendous, the fact that it is on my neck line of my t-shirt right now? But does it sound good when this room is not acoustically treated? Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, let's head over to the studio. Your guitar stories. I am so happy to be bringing this segment back. A lot of you have been requesting, but it's been a few years since I read out your guitar stories. Now, there is a hint in the title of this part of the show, and well, you send in stories of a guitar that means something to you, and you send me some photos too, and I just read them out, and it is so wholesome, so lovely. And although it's been a few years since I've done it, my love for the guitar has only grown, so I can't wait to get back into this. So the first one in a while is from Nick in Cleveland, Ohio. I am including 2 guitars in this story, he writes. The first is my 2018 Fender Player Series HSS Cherry Burst Plus Top. This is the first good guitar that I ever purchased. At the start of the pandemic, I had more time for hobbies, didn't we all, and was considering buying a good set of golf clubs or a nice guitar. Ooh. I finally settled on a guitar as I felt I would get more use out of a guitar versus having to drive somewhere to play golf. Absolutely. If you know James Clear's Atomic Habits, if you want to do something and improve on something, whether it's a hobby or profession or just, something to do with your health, then make it as frictionless as possible. Golf, I've never really played golf other than going to the driving range. However, I know it's amazing for being outside, exercising, and just mental challenge as well. My goodness. However, guitar. And you can have a guitar at home. You can't have a golf range at home. Or maybe you can nowadays with technology. Anyway, I digress. I had forgotten how much I love music, and the new guitar opened up so many new hobby opportunities and projects. I am a hobbyist woodworker, and I have built guitar stands, amp stands, music stands, and wooden stools to practice on. That's amazing. So I love that. And I mean, guitar was my biggest inspiration when I was doing D&T at GCSE level. Design and technology, which was a long time ago. I think that was literally 18 years ago that I did that. And well, my final project was a guitar coffee table that still stands to this day. 18 years it's lasted. So woodwork and guitar go hand in hand, especially when you use guitar as inspiration. So all these things are just amazing. I feel like I need all these things. So then he goes on to the second story. The second guitar is a Squier Affinity that I picked up for $100. I called it my project guitar from the beginning and have been working on it for over a year. I was not rushing to get it done since this was for fun. I fell in love with the Bel Air blue paint job on the Player Plus you had used in Spain and decided to do something like that. As you can see, it's a loose interpretation. It has Fender Deluxe Drive pickups, locking tuners, and will soon have a new wiring kit from Stu Mac. I am so glad I bought the guitar. This blended hobby of woodworking and playing music will keep me busy for the rest of my life. I really enjoy your channel and wish you the best of luck going forward. Thank you, Nick. I cannot wait to look at these. Okay, so I love that the guitar I had on that road trip, which was about 2 years ago now, inspired you, and I'm happy that you might have also seen that guitar went to a really amazing home in Atlanta, where luckily I got to deliver it to their door with the help of Rhett Shull. But yeah, that paint job on that guitar was amazing. I cannot wait to see yours. Okay. Ooh, okay. Oh my goodness. Wait, so that was the HSS. Okay, so this is the modding. I love the potential that a guitar body without any pickups in has. I just find them so aesthetically pleasing. This is the paint job. This paint job is amazing. I actually love the speckled look. That is so cool. That is so cool. Look at it finished. I'm very, very impressed with the Squire. Well done. That is amazing. Oh, the woodworking you've done. The guitar stool. Beautiful. Guitar stand. Also very handy. And then the amp stand as well. That's really cool, especially as you have access to the controls. I say this over and over again. I would love like a woodworking area where you can mod guitars, and I could finally learn how to do that. I have not ever followed up on that dream hobby of mine. I don't know if many of you are like me, and if you have that sort of dream hobby where you're like, one day I'd really love to do that, but you just never get around to it. So maybe, let's just put it in like the 10-year plan, because I don't see it happening in the next 3 to 5 years. However, Nick, thank you very, very much for your contribution. If you would like to contribute to Guitar Stories, I would love to read yours. So send it over to guitarstories@maryspender.com. Please try and take as well-lit pictures as you possibly can. And, well, let's bring back the animal rule as well. If you have a cat or a dog or some animal, you get a bonus feature if you feature them in it as well. But thank you for joining me for Guitar Stories. For those of you that have been watching for a really, really long time, you might remember that in January 2021, I did 31 videos in 31 days. And I came up with this sort of like TV format where I do segments, just like this video has been. And I've been thinking about bringing it back for a while, and I'm just testing it out in this sort of one-off feature. But I used to end every video in that series with Patron of the Day. So what I thought I would do is show you that I'm actually about to sign one of my guitars and send it to Carl, one of my patrons, who I just drew his name out of a hat, not literally, figuratively, but I just thought I'd sign it, and then we're going to ship it off, and he's going to have a new guitar, and that is just what I want to be doing for my Patreon page. It has been supporting me since 2017 when I first began this YouTube channel. Everyone over there is such a small community, but such a loyal community, and literally makes a huge, huge difference. So I just thought, Carl, thank you, but to also all my other patrons who've been there for so many years, I just want to thank you too in a big YouTube video. And yeah, we're going to get signing, but thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this show, and give me your feedback in the comments.
To tell you over and over, I'm a new person over and over, but you won't wanna hear me over and over, so I'll stay quiet, so I'll stay quiet, so I'll stay quiet, so I'll stay quiet. I had your attention, wanted to help, but a ghost can't hear wise words. No hope for enlightenment. Why would you bear it? I saw you move on, didn't understand. Spiraled further down, more damage was done.